Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man. Probably presents another episode of You Know What It Is, Comic Book Talk with Friends, Monday night. So glad to have you here. It's a lot that we are going to actually go over tonight, so I do not want to delay. Make sure that if you are coming in here that you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We are 11. Where are we at right now? Let's actually see where we are right now. Let's see. I wanted to kind of make sure that we knew where we actually, wait a minute. So we are at 3,992. We are 8 likes, 8 subscriptions away from 4,000 subscribers. So definitely 8 away from 4,000. We might get there pretty soon. So I'm hoping that we do. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. First off, we're going to talk about your boy, Dan Jurgens. Again, incredible writer, incredible artist. Jason, I know you were really excited about this one, considering the piece of body of work that he actually does. We're going to also, definitely we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about this Marvel Spotlight. That's something that we're going to definitely bring up because it's worth talking about. Again, like, what's is this going to be Marvel's Elseworld, and basically a direct callback to like DC's Elseworld, this, but Marvel's version. And is it a good idea? I have my thoughts about it, and I just want to hear what everybody else is going to think about. Also, we're going to talk about the echo. Now, here's the thing: we're not going to talk about the trailer. We're just going to talk about because like again, Vinny hasn't seen it. But we're just going to talk about the impact of that trailer and what it means, considering that Echo is the first coming from this Marvel Spotlight. And whether or not, so the trailer was good, but we're not going to talk about it, but we're just talking about the impact of it being one of the first to come from that spotlight, and does it make sense? We're also going to actually talk about, again, we are getting this news about Secret Wars, but also with the height of all this conversation about Marvel having problems and going through so much, does it mean anything that, do we really, and I want to know from you guys, do you really want Robert Downey Jr. back? Do you really want Chris Evans back? Do you actually want Scarlett Johansson back? And will it make sense, or will it undo everything that we already actually seen? Does it make sense? And do they really need it, or is this basically a shot in the dark trying to make things happen? We'll talk about that. And also, we are going to definitely talk about episode 5 of Loki. This show just keeps getting better and better, and I am so sad that this week is the last episode of the season. But yes, we're going to talk about that as well. But of course, I can't do it without the crew, and I can't do it without you. So I'm just going to actually bring everybody in here. What's going on with you, man? How y'all doing?
What up?
I'm chilling. How you doing, brother?
Man, so good. It was a nice little weekend. Chilling with the family. It's Christmas time, going out there taking pictures in front of Christmas trees. Me and Toya, we said what we're gonna do is basically try. So our thing for this season is we're gonna travel around and take pictures in front of Christmas trees. So this weekend we're gonna probably find some more Christmas trees so we could take some pictures in front of them.
Come down here to the beach and get one.
Nah, because if I come down there, I ain't going to come back. Number one. Number two, I ain't getting bit by no alligators, bro. I mean,
that's gone. I took the video. His ass is gone.
He said his ass is gone.
Bro.
Hell yeah, man. But we're going to definitely do that. But we definitely had an incredible weekend, man. It was so exciting, man. But man, how you doing, Jay? You good?
I'm cooling, bro. Like I had a great weekend, man. Just chill. My granddaughter's birthday was this weekend, so
cool.
We had a blast at the house. Yeah, man. Little girl's something else. Boy, had a good time with her.
Hell yeah.
And the same token, on that Friday, the guy called me and said, "Bro, we got the alligator." I was like, "What? Y'all caught him?" He said, "Yeah, bro. Funny thing is, his tail had 2 bullet holes in it." I said,
"For real?"
That was from me.
You shot it twice, bro?
I sure did.
Man,
yeah, he caught him, bro. 6'5", was 142 pounds.
Word.
Yeah, they got him. I'm so glad they got him. So I went fishing this morning for the first time in my backyard. That was kind of cool.
Word, man, definitely, man.
You need a license to hunt gators like you do for hunting deer up here?
I think. Well, this guy is a professional, so I'm taking it. He does have one.
Okay.
Because I called the nuisance center about it, and they sent him out here. And then Buddy called me and told me he got it, and I saw him getting it, bro. He sent me this video and everything. It was dope. Yeah, it was dope.
Word.
Yo, Buddy, they got a fishing rod, like a special rod for him. They catch them like fish. So he threw it out. Oh man, he threw it out, and then he caught the joint, brought it back in. Yo, it was crazy, bro.
Word.
Yeah.
Wow, bro. Like that is crazy. Wow, bro. But
Right back.
yeah, man. Thanks for being here, Vinny. Yeah, man. I mean, you had a lot going on this weekend as well.
Yeah, man. I meant to send you pictures for it. I might hit you up to show some of those pictures next week if that's cool.
Yeah,
But I'll just recap it real quick. I had a vending gig at the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City this weekend, so that was fun. I don't do too many shows outside of PA, and I've been trying to branch out. So one in AC, which I like to visit anyways, was a perfect opportunity because I knew that good, bad, or indifferent, I was going to be able to gamble and hang out in AC and check out the beach. And it was warm this weekend, so it was actually, like the beach was like amazing, and it was warm out, and it was still like off season rates at the hotel, so it was like it was smooth, it was cool. And this was J1 Con. It was like it's America's longest running black owned comic convention, so it was a totally different vibe. It was the first like Blurred Con I'd ever been to, and it was just super dope seeing the culture and the community like blend together and get to like do geek shit that maybe felt like it was more for them than it would at a regular con. So that was dope. It was definitely a whole different type of vibe. It felt like a party more than a con, bro. It was so much music, so much it was like just so different, and I loved it. It was very, very cool. They had lots of shit going on. They had like a little uh a little skit for like they set up and did like a couple wrestling matches. They had like little concerts. They had a party afterwards for all the vendors and everything. It was just it was wild. It was I had a cat next to me. He had a comic book about a breakdancing superhero. So he was battle dancing and pop locking and breakdancing
Word.
whole con. Like I have a couple videos I'll show you. Like I'm just sitting up drawing, and I look up and he's breakdancing, pop locking in front of me. It's just such a wild scene.
That's dope.
It was dope, but it was just so surreal.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's just a totally different vibe than what we're used to at a regular con, which is a totally different type of demographic. So it was cool. It felt very, very cool. And I got it was a lot, but both days were like really a lot longer than most con days. So I did have some like downtime. I got to get a lot of art done. So I'm gonna show some pieces next week. I got to draw Omni Man and a couple commissions, and I drew a new Boba Fett piece. So I'll show those next week. And I got to sell some art, talk to a lot of good people, networked with a lot of great artists, and just had a lot of fun, man. It was a cool weekend. It was a long weekend, a lot of driving, a lot. I need a weekend for my weekend, but I loved it. Had a good time. I'm looking forward to more cons that are, outside my comfort zone and branching out and just keep, growing and growing the brand, man. It was fun though. A lot of good people, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
I appreciate it. A lot of good people, and that's what it's all about. Talking to everybody, just networking and all that good stuff. So it was fun.
Word. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man.
Always a good thing. And everybody out there who's actually in attendance tonight, who else we got out there? We got Blazing Age in the building. Happy Gilmore made me scared of Gators for life. Amber May is in here definitely. We got my man Norman Rich. What is going on with you, Norman?
What up?
Bro, Norman, you're looking a little bit at Idris Elbus in this picture right here, bro. You look just like, bro, Noni, you're like Idris Elba, bro. With that,
mixed with Jizza a little bit.
Yeah, mixed with some Jizza, bro. Like some good company, bro. Got some good jeans, brother. Who else we got out there? We got my man Aaron Collects, aka John B, in the building. Thank you for being here, bro. As always, of course, Blazing is in the building. Renz Talentino is here as well. So definitely we are ready to go, man. More people gonna be popping in here pretty soon. But before we actually go in on a bit of a like a somber note, man, because like I said, this is something that we need to talk about. Um, great stunt man,
Oh yeah,
and
breaks my
amazing
heart.
individual, Taraja
Oh
Ramsey's
man,
passed
yeah,
away on Halloween in a
yeah.
terrifying car crash, collided with a tractor trailer. It was him and
It's
three
three
of his
babies.
children
It's three babies.
passed away. Um,
Mm.
and that right there, bro,
That's
it
awful.
hit home because
Mm-mm.
again, we're talking about a man who is definitely these are his babies, bro. These are his
That's
kids.
so crazy, bro.
These are his kids, bro. And it's just like, yo, such a terrifying thing to think about, where, a man and his kids on Halloween night, lose their life, in such a tragic way. He's a stunt man, who, performed on,
Black
Black
Panther.
Panther, amongst other things as well. Surely, like I said, I mean, the staple in the community, we want to make sure that, I mean, again, him being a geek is, as well, and
Mm-hmm.
just contributing a great body of work. We want to extend our condolences to him, I mean, to his family, and, may he rest in peace. May his children rest in peace. That's why it's always good to keep your kids and your children close. Tell them that you love them every
Oh,
single
every
day and
day.
never miss an opportunity to make sure that they know that you love them,
Mm-hmm.
because that is definitely important. I make sure that I tell my baby girls, every single day how much I
Every
love
day.
them and how much they important they are to me. This is a tragic one. You know what I
Tragic,
mean? When you hear
tragic,
about it,
tragic. Definitely would.
yeah, definitely a tragic one, bro. And hearing, that a man, and his children, are gone. So, definitely um rest in peace, to him, and his family in his time of need. And yeah, man, our condolences are definitely out there. And, hopefully, he'll live on, and, through memories, and, through this body of work. um yeah, no,
It's a
definitely want
sad,
to,
sad, sad.
sad moment. But again, he's definitely there with his babies, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So that's the thing, he's there with his babies. That's the most important thing. It's kind of tragic, and we think about that, it's just like, yo, Kobe died with his daughter,
With
you know what I
his
mean?
daughter, bro.
Bro, and it's the thing is, as a father, bro, you never want to see, you
Mm-mm.
always want to go
Mm-mm.
before your kids, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You always, and it to me, like, bro, it's a no-brainer. When we always talk about our children, it's like, yo, I'll definitely go before them. If I had to
Oh yes,
die in
yes.
order for my children to live, take me now, you know what I mean? Like, that's it, but it's definitely a painful thing. But our condolences to the family,
Yeah,
and everyone
definitely,
involved. So
man.
definitely
Absolutely.
wanted to say that. Moving on from there, though, we're going to get into the artist of the week. This guy, again, great body of work.
Yes.
I know, very important to this man above us right here, who is definitely a Superman fan. So this guy, Dan himself, Dan Jurgens, is definitely an incredible artist who gave us one of, I want to say, one of the most riskiest moves
Mm-hmm.
in comic book history, is when they decided to kill off Superman,
Oh,
and he was basically a part of that. I know, Jason, you came home, or when you went to your local comic shop and they told you that this was going down, you was
yo,
probably like, what?
I was almost in tears, bro. I could not believe it.
He was
Like,
flipping tables.
dude, that shook the whole world, bro. Even if you're not a Superman fan,
Yeah,
like death of Superman, people was like, "What? What the
yeah.
hell? What are you talking about?"
What you
And
talking
they
about?
kept him. They
Yeah,
kept him dead for what, like almost a year, right? Like
yeah.
about a
He was
year.
there for a while, bro.
Yeah, about a year or some change, man. They had all these other characters coming in between. The reign of Superman series started, and you had Steel, you had John Kent, you had what was the other one? The Eradicator. There was one more. With the Eradicator, Steel, John Kent, and somebody I forget the other one. But dude, that book was a good book. That was the first time I seen Batman cry in the
Mm-hmm.
comics. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was what a good series, yo. Like I have all of that whole arc.
That honestly, it let me know that eventually
Yep.
Superman was gonna clap Diana's cheeks, bro. It just kind of let me.
Listen, listen.
I'm just
He
playing.
did, and he
No,
did,
and he did,
and he did.
and he did, bro. He definitely
Sure did.
did. But
Symp-
yeah, man. What'd you say, Vinny?
sympathy cheeks.
Sympathy.
That's what it is.
Definitely, bro. But no, I mean, such an incredible, impactful artist, bro. And the thing is, it's like,
This picture right
um,
here is iconic, man. That picture
yeah,
is
it is, bro. But
beautiful.
definitely, he's put in some incredible work.
Hmm.
Vinny, what you think about Dan Jurgens, bro?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's best, well known for the death of Superman, and I remember when the story came out, I was like a lot of people at the time, like I wasn't the biggest fan of the Superman books, but I loved the character,
Mhm.
and it's well known and established that he can be difficult to write for because he's so powerful.
Mhm.
And this story was like, hey, everybody, come home, come back to the comics, check this out, we have something new. He's not as
Hmm. Oh
omnipotent as we thought.
man.
And that story was one of the best death of
Hmm.
stories of all time,
Hmm.
and it had so many different attributes that worked in its favor. For one, it was a new villain, and Superman has that you know kind of gift and curse that many classic old superheroes do, that they have such a great rogues gallery. Is really hard for new villains to really ever
Hmm.
leave a good
Hmm.
mark on the character, because everyone just recycles the same old villains. And Spider-Man had like a lightning in a bottle with Venom.
Hmm.
Batman had lightning in a bottle with Bane. Superman had
Hmm.
lightning in a bottle with Doomsday. And
Mhm.
Doomsday was such a great character design, like in every version of him too. Like even that green jumpsuit with the with the chain with the metal
Right.
goes around. Like even that was fire. Everything
Right.
about how they built up to it,
Yeah.
it seemed so strategically well thought out that even when they missed, it was like a hiccup in the grand scheme of things, because the overall arc of the build up to Doomsday arriving, the death, and then the aftermath, it all seemed like even when it didn't work, it wasn't because they didn't know what they were doing. It just like maybe just didn't hit, but it felt like they laid out a game plan that was well in advance, instead of just saying let's kill him just to get up some sales for some books, like we see
Yeah.
with a lot of death in comics, where it seems like they don't know what to do. Let's kill the character off, knowing that, and then we'll figure out how to bring him back after it. Like this was like they had a whole plan the whole way. The polybag book to make sure you bought a couple of them.
Hmm.
The 4 different books with the different superheroes who
Yep.
kind of took over the
All
reign.
of them.
You
Yep.
had you had the late the DC world shook up, and then
Yeah.
what I really found super interesting about the whole thing was the pop culture crossover of this book too. Like Jason mentioned, the whole world was shook up
Hmm.
about it. He's
Hmm.
not kidding. Like there was news stories on the news
On the news,
about
bro. I
this
Yep,
remember.
Superman
about the
thing.
death of
Bro,
bro.
like you turn on
DC
the news to like
Comics
watch the
killed
local
Superman.
news, and it'll be a
Yep.
story on
The
like
local
they,
news. Yep.
Good Morning America was talking
Hmm.
about Superman dying. Like that shit was beautiful
Yeah.
publicity for them.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was great, and then people who picked up the book actually had like a really cool story,
Yeah.
to read. And
Hmm.
then you had like you actually had the actual comic itself was great. I mean, it was such a moment in time for
Hmm.
comic book readers. Like it was so great. And then eventually, of course, they went back on it, but like every time they like battled again, it was
That's the
something
remake.
different, something interesting. He had
It
to
was
be
like less and less,
away.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it was crazy, and then it led to great follow up future moments, like with his use in Superman and Batman and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. And it was, man, it was special. And I think that it goes to show like it was kind of like it became kind of a trend to not just do that in a just throwaway way. Like I feel
Mhm.
like we never would have got Nightfall with Batman if it wasn't
Oh
for
yeah.
that's a
Oh yeah.
Superman. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like it inspired so many different creators to like think it out, plan it better. You know what I mean? Because no one had ever really taken a chance on a death like that at that scale since maybe
Hmm.
Gene, and Gene is no Superman,
Right.
Mhm.
character wise,
Right.
popularity wise.
Right.
So that was very, very you know, man, that was such a iconic decision, and he wrote Dan Jurgens, he wrote it too. Like he was the artist, and
That was the
you
crazy
know,
part, bro. Writing it and drawing it. Like,
yeah, that was a lot. That was a
yeah.
lot of faith to put,
Yeah.
in one man, not to mess that up. You have,
Hmm.
that the cape on that post in the middle of the street with
Oh man,
Lois crying over
heartbreaking.
it. I
Yeah,
mean,
bro.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
one of
That
the
right
most.
there. Oh my god.
I mean, that's an iconic super. That's one of the most iconic comic images. Period. It
Hmm.
Yeah.
was incredible. So yeah, that was definitely that. I mean, that was amazing. And then that made people feel like, okay, maybe I should pick up a Superman book and read it again instead. Like, because
Hmm.
a lot of comic book heads, you know, don't read the book but love the character and
Yeah.
just wanted a
Yeah.
reason to come back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was that spark. So
Hmm.
de- definitely,
Definitely.
definitely like a major contributor to the comic book history. And
Yes,
But you know
yes.
what? Like Vinny was saying too. Like another iconic thing about that book was to see this green jumpsuit and these red
yeah,
goggles, and like the one arm was tied behind his back, and he
yeah,
Mhm.
was tearing through the Justice League. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
before he even got to Metropolis, like he was trashing everybody on the way there, bro. And with one arm behind his back until I think he got to like was it Wonder Woman or something? I think Wonder Woman or one of the Wonder Woman and Hawkman got the other when they were fighting, got that other arm broke loose. It was
hmm
a
Hmm.
wrap. It was a wrap. Like he trashed all them to get to Metropolis for some reason. Like that right there, seeing the whole Justice League get ran through like that, that
yeah,
was not even heard of before, man.
Yeah.
That book was a game changer, man.
Bro,
For sure.
he and the thing is they laid waste to Metropolis, bro. Like
Trash
literally
it. Trash
it was a fight that
it. Yeah.
lasted issues, bro. Like
Issues, dog.
issues.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you knew like there wasn't going to be like a positive outcome at that point,
Nah.
bro.
Look at that
You
jumpsuit,
you you knew that,
bro.
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, this right here is so iconic. That's why like I was in very I'm still impartial. I didn't like necessarily what they did with Doomsday and the Justice League, bro, or in the in BVS
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't like that iteration. They I just felt as though they could have did something completely different.
Oh, we're using Zod.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
like it. I mean, because I
yeah.
think it was a waste of an opportunity to give us a beast of an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
it was such a waste,
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
such
I
a
agree
waste
about that.
It
because
was.
they took what was basically his most famous story in modern era and just cherry picked parts that they liked of it,
Mhm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then they made it. I mean, think about if they had made it, with like the source material and had him
Mm-hmm.
be, you know, buried in some lab,
A
and he
weapon
came
from
back and was fucking
Kryptonian. Yeah,
everybody up
yeah.
and
Right.
attack. I mean, I don't want to get into how much problems I have with Batman versus Superman, but man, they wasted a huge opportunity there. I
Mhm.
mean, and then
Zach
it'd be
made them into
odd,
hate.
and that didn't
Zach
even
made
make
that
sense
mistake.
either too, because they had I don't know. It's like, all right, Superman could come back because Kryptonians just need time to rest and heal, but Zod can't. I mean, he's Kryptonian too. He should have just healed from that broken neck and came back if that's the case.
Hell yeah. It
Well,
and I am honored to have the great retro nerd girl here watching the show.
that's awesome. What's
That's
up, Retro?
awesome. That is awesome. So glad to actually have you here. I'm so glad you're catching
Yeah,
this show. So it is a pleasure to have you.
that's awesome.
Anytime I'm honored. So
We're so
thank you.
glad to have you catch one of these live streams. Thank
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely to
right.
catch one of the live shows, man, because it's definitely important. We try to keep it as informative as possible. So definitely thank you for being here, as always, and thank you for my baby Latoya T.
He said,
whose superpower is to spread much love and happiness to everybody. Thank you for being here, baby. Yes. And she has like a little nose and she twinkles. So yeah, I had to put that out there. She probably gonna be like, "Yo, how dare you talk about my nose?"
"There you."
Yeah, so definitely. But yeah, thank you for being here as always. But yeah, man, like such an iconic character. But it was just a simple fact that double duty to, but I think the best part about that is being an artist, constructing your body of work the way you want, the way you've written it. It's like it would seem like it's hard, but it must also it's just like riveting and like just you just feel so much calm and peace knowing that it's in your hands to really accomplish. You interpret everything that you've written on those pages is interpreted through your art. Like that's so what I'm saying is, Vinny, you gotta start writing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You got the art, bro. Like, come
I
on,
used to write
stop
back in
playing.
the day. I gotta write more too, but
You gotta start writing, bro.
Stop
Yeah.
playing, man. Stop
You
playing.
gotta stop playing and start writing, bro. Definitely, man. You need to do that as always. But yeah, man. Such and again, he's such an incredible, impactful artist. And the thing is like when you think about books like this, bro, you think about I always label it like the golden age of comics, bro. You know, it's
yeah,
always labeled at the golden age of comics,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when we were focused on it was story driven, but you know just the books, it was so much it was impactful, the art was impactful. Nowadays it's like we're seeing, and it's again it's no frown upon comics now, but it's just a simple fact that what we are seeing now is the constant story that's it's they're dragging these stories out just because you want to kind of make it so theatrical. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you know, it's okay to good tell it's to tell a story, and you want us to, you know, to it's just character driven. You want us to basically associate ourselves with these characters, but at the same time, it's just like, yo, I think the meat of certain stories are being missing, and it doesn't take 8 books to tell a story. Now,
Yeah,
if it's
bro.
8 books of action, I'm all in. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But like just the dialogue, a lot of books now are dialogue driven, you know, whereas back then it was like, yo, we just had it was from the word go, you open up those pages and let's go. You know what I mean? So somebody's getting demolished, someone's getting beat. And that's, you know, definitely what I loved about this run. And
But you know,
also, yeah.
that's how he did that whole even. I mean, look what happened after the fact of Superman's death. We had I can remember the name of the group, Cadmus.
Mm-hmm.
Cadmus came
The
along.
cat, yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Guardian, the Guardian. You had the Guardian. You had,
Mm-hmm.
the Reign of Superman. You had Hank Henshaw was one of the coldest cyborg. The cyborg Superman was cold, bro.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Cold
Yeah.
blooded, boy, and he had a reason for it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
John Kent Steele, bro, the Eradicator. This dude did all that work with characters and writing, character design, like that whole this Superman, Death Superman book, man, and the books that came after the fact was just that was a whole era of books right there, man.
he
Yeah,
also
bro.
was heavily influential with the new 52 reboot too. Like he was a
Yeah.
big part of that. He
Yeah,
wrote a lot of the
yeah.
52 comics, and he was on a
I
committee
love
that
that run too, bro. People
decided.
don't like it. I love that run.
Yeah, he also, like he helped oversee you know the whole line, the reboot of that.
Hank Henshaw,
That's one of
boy.
my favorite covers, man. That shit was
Hank Henshaw.
incredible.
I had that one.
It
Ice
was
Cold.
definitely like Ghost in the Shell vibes with that joint.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And again, like you said, like he had a reason to be where he was. Wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't call him evil, but I call him direct. And he's like,
Yeah,
because
direct.
again, with
Yep,
Hank, he did a lot of things that Superman wouldn't. And because, you
yep.
know, and I think that was one of the biggest things that there was the collide between both characters is that he felt as though Superman wasn't pushing himself, and too many people, there were too many victims based on the simple fact that Superman didn't do what he was
Well,
supposed to do.
his wife. That's why they were in space.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
His
So
wife
again,
died.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
that's what made his story arc
mhm,
in extremely incredible, bro. I loved
mhm,
it. Definitely
mhm,
loved it.
mhm.
But yeah, man, definitely Dan is that guy when it comes to art.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Timeless work, timeless body of work. Definitely enjoy his pieces, and that's why I kind of wanted to shine a light on him because again, he's dope. If you haven't already, take a look at his catalog. He doesn't just do Superman; he did a couple of Marvel pieces as well. Incredible Hulk, She-Hulk. He
Did
did
he
a
do
couple of.
Image too? He
Huh,
did.
would you say?
Did he do Witchblade? No. Who's that behind him?
Nah, he didn't do Witchblade.
Who's that behind him? Was that Laura?
No, that's Laura Croft.
He did
That's
a
yeah,
Tomb Raider.
Okay,
Tomb
Laura.
Raider. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
Witchblade.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he definitely did that. But yep, shout out to him. His work is incredible. So we definitely wanted to touch on him. And just kind of shed a light like we do each and every week. We kind
Great
of just
artist.
touch on these great artists, these incredible artists that you probably didn't know about, but they exist, which means you need to go digging, get you some comics, local brick and
Superman
mortars.
Hunter Prey. That was also another great follow up to the Superman Doomsday series. So if you want to read more about it and it's like overwhelming, you can pick up that because that was a 4-issue like miniseries, so that's easily digestible. That was fun too.
Definitely make sure that you do. Another thing before we move on, I just want to do this real quick. My guy, Underground Figures, Ray over there at Underground Figures. If you are looking for 1/6 scale figures and you can't find them anywhere else, hit up my guy Ray at Underground Figures. I'm telling you, he is dope like that. Pieces that you may be looking for, he got them. If you can't find them, he got them, or he'll find them for you. So make sure you hit him up. I mean, the turnaround time on these figures is incredible. So definitely if you order, you'll probably get it within 2 days. He's just that guy and he doesn't play around. He's very reasonable. So make sure you hit him up and tell him that Lael sent you. I'm not getting kickback. I just basically do it because he's a great dude. The customer service is on point. I just always want to put that out there so you don't think that I'm shilling for this dude and I'm getting residuals. Hell no. I'm just basically shooting out somebody who, again, great customer service, along with also Ray over there at Hawk Wars Toys. Make sure you hit him up as well. He's a great dude. Also hit up my man Marco over there at Collector Zone. He can get you some dope pieces as well. So definitely wanted to kind of shed some light on these individuals, especially if you are figure collectors and people out there that are looking for pieces. I mean, come on, man. There you go. You can actually get it. Moving on, though, man, I wanted to talk about something else here because this was definitely just introduced over the weekend. And I was like, okay, all right, let's talk about this because it is something that's worth talking about. There was a little video that they put out that kind of let us know where their direction that they're going with this. And that is the Marvel Spotlight. Now, we were talking about this backstage a little bit, Vinny.
I missed it, and I missed the announcement over the weekend. So I was like, "What the hell is Marvel Spotlight?" And then looked it up. I read about it like a quick synopsis. So my fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely a quick synopsis on it. And it is in a sense of what Feige is sort of like leaning towards is a space where a lot of these IPs can exist. So it's like more, he wanted to focus on a lot more street level heroes. So when I heard him say that, where I went, where my mind went. And again, yeah, at Midnight Suns, bro, stuff like that. Hell yeah. But again, we know that also Echo is going to be one of those springboards of this particular run, which I'm definitely excited about because, again, I mean, the trailer, Vinny, you haven't seen it. I'm telling you right now, bro. It's tough, bro. And we're not even going to get into it, but it is tough. Like, literally, I thought, for people who thought that it wasn't, again, there was all this talk about it was going to be garbage and it was going to be too soft. And they're releasing all the actual shows in one day. It's going to actually be a stream. So, of course, it's going to be, bro. It looks good, bro. It looks damn good. Now, again, for all intents and purposes, the show could be a bag of whatever, but I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I think it's going to be dope.
Weekend came a lot of mixed reactions about Echo from me because I'm hearing about how amazing the trailer is, that it looks violent, it looks rated R, it looks fire, it looks great. And then they can't just let that be what the story is. They have to have the director come out and say some dumbass shit that he said that pissed me off all weekend and kind of took the wind out of the sails of how hype I was about the trailer.
What'd he say?
Yeah.
Oh hell. What?
What happened?
I don't want to misquote. I don't want to misquote.
Oh
But
boy.
he said,
Oh boy.
I thought he basically was talking about how the powers are going to change.
Oh, oh, what
Yeah,
the director? So
the
the
director said
showrunner.
that the powers aren't going to be watch and mimic power because that's such a lame power and it
That it
doesn't
was
make sense.
lame.
And it's too similar to Taskmaster, which is also lame, which is insane. Be considering,
How is that a lame power? Like I don't.
yeah, I'm that's her power. So
That's
Yeah.
my thing is twofold. A, all right, the power isn't lame. It's incredible and it's
Yeah.
created so many incredible moments in the comics. And
Yeah.
Taskmaster is one of the cult hit comic villain and has the same powers. And it was a cool enough power that you guys, the company that she's working for, he's working was I'm not sure if it was who's the director, if it was male or female, but the company that they're working for used that villain because it was a cool enough villain. So
And Black Widow.
but my thing is, all right, if for whatever, let's play devil's advocate. If you're using a character and you don't feel like that character's power set is something that you will work for your show or movie and you want to change it, like, okay, that's one thing. To shit on the comic and go out of your way to say that a comic book power is stupid or this character is stupid and
You
that
shouldn't be
we know
directing it.
better,
yo.
change it,
Shouldn't be directing it.
has me so hot because it's like you could have just said it doesn't quite work for what we want to do, so we're going to tweak some things, and we hope you guys have faith in us and check out what we did because we think it's true to the character, but our own spin on it that people will enjoy. Also, you could have put some kind of spin on it, some
Mm-hmm.
PR spin, but to go
Mm-hmm.
out there and shit on such an obscure character who you're,
Mm-hmm.
you know, why use an obscure character who not a lot of people know just to call it stupid and
Mm-hmm.
because it's obscure and the power is lame? It's like you know that you have this core group, a small group of Daredevil fans, of Echo fans, who are of
Mm-hmm.
Native American fan, peoples and fans
Exactly.
who are just so excited to see
And then
representation from
you
a
shit on it.
obscure character, representation from a Native American character, representation of a person of color, woman, get her own show, and then to go out there and say, her powers are dumb, so don't worry, we changed that. That's I feel like that's just like suicide. Like, why would you
Yeah.
go out of your way to shit on it? You could have just
Right.
said it in a much cooler, more professional way that you want to tweak some things and not have so many people upset at your ignorance and your stubbornness to feel like you suits always know better than everybody else. And it's like if you hate comic books so much, why the fuck are you making comic book movies and shows?
Exactly.
Now
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
said, it could be
Exactly.
fire, but
Exactly.
you got like a strike against you before we even see it because you got people hot before they even go
I
into it.
I
So it's like,
always I always err on the side of showrunners not saying shit at all
shut the
and
fuck
just
up
giving
and
us the piece.
show
Don't
it.
say a
Right.
word and just let us see what you've changed or what angle you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
Because it, again, we don't need to know what you changed. You don't need to basically emphasize that. You know what I mean? And if you want, I mean, again, if you're wanting us to know, if you're just basically saying it because we don't associate ourselves or we don't associate this character with, someone like Taskmaster, you know what I mean? If you don't want us to associate ourselves with or this character with
That's
him,
all they
with
had to say. They
that's
could
all
have
you have
said
to say. Just
Taskmaster
something
already has
completely
that
different,
power
or
set.
don't say anything at all.
Yeah,
Just put out the product and let us interpret it how we will. Our
yeah.
interpretation of this particular character is going to be based off of how we view it, how we see it.
Right.
We don't need you to say much at all. Just put it out. We can formulate our own opinions. We
Yeah.
can
You
basically
you
back and forth,
easily
be
could
like,
have
okay,
said,
well, this is a different
Right.
power set. It might be cool as shit. But
Right.
to bash, and that's the thing is, this is why I think PR, bro, their
PR.
jobs are
Right.
to sit there and say, listen, and this is happening all across the board, especially when it comes to Disney. When it
Yeah.
comes to shit, sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. Shut
Right.
up. Don't say nothing.
Right.
Just shut up, and then after you've released it, then explain the reasons why you probably went this route. You don't have to basically bash, especially when you say it's lame. When you're saying something like that, it goes against the writers and the creators of this particular character. And that's what you're saying to them. That's my, and the thing is, look, the powers could be dope. You know, it could be really, really dope. I'm excited that, number one, I mean, even beyond the powers, I am super excited at the simple fact that there's representation, Native American, and on top of that, this happens to be Choctaw associated. They're doing it with the Choctaw Natives, which is, that's what my mom is. My mother is half Choctaw and African American. So to hear that, that's incredible, bro. To align themselves with that particular tribe, I am hype about that, bro.
But when it just doesn't make any sense, because they could have easily been like, Taskmaster has the same power set, so we want to switch it up to
and being good characters,
with it. You know, unique. That's all you had to say. Because you know what? The last time somebody said some dumb shit like this was what's his name? I think Tim Story, maybe it was somebody else. The Fantastic Four reboot director. Like when they were shitting on the comics, it's just like, you could say that you want to change shit up from the comics. Y'all change shit up from the comics all the time. You don't have to shit on the comics. Like, why shit on the comics? That's your source material. You wouldn't know who you're making an Echo show and shit on the comics. Like, that's where you got it from. I would never make a Harry Potter movie and say the Harry's wand is not going to be tech based because magic is stupid.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like why shit on the source material? Just say you're not going to use that particular power. You don't have to shit on the source material. That's what's giving you your character in the first place. If you don't like the job, if you don't want to really do, it's like you don't really want to use it or do it. Do something else. Direct something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of go direct a Law and Order episode if you want. You know,
right.
You don't have to make a show about. That's what's so frustrating, man. Like, a lot of these suits is like, you clearly don't respect comic books. So why
don't read the books?
Why are you making? Why'd you apply to be a director for?
I can't believe that this information leaked, or her saying that was written in an article, bro.
Where was Kevin Feige? He needs to get off the golf course and start grabbing the leash again. Like, pull these directors and back, say, yo, why do I have to tell you that you shouldn't say this? That's crazy. I shouldn't have to tell you.
If you don't want to be here, go somewhere else.
I mean, it's like they need like PR camp.
Yeah.
Crazy
to me.
That's what it is. PR camp, bro.
And it's sad because
PR camp, because it's not enough going around. And the thing is, right now they are letting a lot go, and it's hurting them.
Yeah,
it's putting a blemish on a franchise, especially something that people love, because you don't. There's no control. There's no level of control. You know, you would think that they would just be like, don't whatever. But nah. Again, it's always a slip of the tongue, bro. And I'm definitely looking forward to this show. I mean, especially with a lot going against it. They had already pegged this to be, and again, bro, I've seen so many content creators, bro, and I'm not even going to name them. Known content creators, I'm talking about known with millions and millions of followers and subscribers.
Bashing the show
already because that's what he does.
We all know why. Yeah. And we all know why, so that's why I'll be supporting no matter what. But
bro.
You know, like, help us help you. Damn.
Listen.
Yeah.
Also, I want to see this. One, Shorty's Native American, one of the dopest Native American characters that's in Marvel, bro. Like, I don't even know any other one. What, Warhawk? I mean, come on, but like superpowers, well, her own superpowers. She's an amputee, dude. Like, come on, dog. This is gonna be for the ages to support and see this show, dog. I'm all in for it. I wish she had the hand tattoo on her face. That would be so dope. I know we're not gonna get that, but bro,
they also changed up the costume. Instead of her sleek black design with the star, with the mild, like, subtle logo. Now it's gonna be like super detailed tribal gear. So I don't know. I would have liked the more subtle look, but I also hear, and I didn't research this to verify it, but is it true that this one they're going to experiment with dropping the whole show in one day?
Yeah. It's going to be the entire season in one day, so you're going to be able to
also seems like experimental.
Yeah.
Like they don't care enough about it to make it a weekly release. They're gonna just
Well,
drop it, see how that
that's
does.
how they said they're gonna do the spotlight shows. So they want to
Oh,
just this
okay.
is like their little area to drop. Instead of like Loki with one show every week, they want to drop shows that you just have the whole season out, so you can watch them. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't
You know
know
what
that
I
I
mean?
love the whole concept of Spotlight being something that is by definition something that won't tie into the bigger universe. You can not tie into the bigger universe without
Mhm.
giving like writing yourself into a corner because there might be a project down the line that's like, man, Echo would be perfect for this, and what now they can't use her because that was a Spotlight show.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
See, the reason why I kind of like it is because you're separating all right, put it this way. The bigger universe right now is in such shambles right now. To tie this
Yeah.
into it, it's a missed
Yeah.
opportunity to tell a great
Yeah.
story.
But they could
If
Yeah.
you
tell without
have
tying
if
into
you
it.
have a
I'm
whole
saying you
bunch
can't.
of street level characters, again, her, Daredevil, and the thing is, on top of that,
Spider
and
Man.
and you're when you're talking this, and I think the reason why they're doing this, bro, and again, if you see the trailer, you'll understand why.
Ghost Rider.
I think the
Blade.
reason why they're doing something like this is to separate it from the grander universe, because,
Mhm.
bro, there's going to be a lot of blood. Like literally, there's going to
Oh
be a
yeah.
lot of blood. So when you
Yeah,
have
bro.
shows like this, if you're going to create this spotlight itself, so that you can have shows like Daredevil expand
Mhm.
on what we know about the character, keep
Mhm.
it that rated R or above, or however you want to actually do it, then I'm cool with that. I'm actually
Mhm.
cool with that aspect of it, because there's a lot of meat that you can actually, stories that you can tell within like these with these street level characters,
Mhm.
versus expanding it off into like this grander universe that they have no idea right now what the fuck they are doing until they hone that down. I don't want to see them fuck these characters up. You know what I
And
mean?
see, and even with Daredevil, they went back to the red, like
Yeah,
the red and yellow's
I
gone.
mean, it seems
yeah.
clear like
So,
this is gonna be like their Marvel Knights, but
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Knights doesn't necessarily mean that none of these characters can tie into
Mm-hmm.
bigger Marvel
well,
projects.
what?
Now, I'm sure they'll break that rule if they want to, but
Mhm.
I just don't want them handcuffed to not being able to use any of the spotlight shows in
Mhm.
something bigger if they want to. Because you could have a show self-contained and never really use it. Like if they never did Moon Knight in an Avengers or anything else, I feel like you know no one else from Marvel was in Moon Knight. Like you could have self-contained shows on Disney Plus without
Mhm.
saying that you're not a you won't see these characters in any of the
Mm-hmm.
movies, and
Mhm.
because eventually there'll be so many spotlight shows where if there are the spotlight shows going to intertwine with each other too, it's like it seems like a slippery slope there. But that said, if it's just basically like more so going to be like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, these would be like the Marvel Nights line where we can be more violent and it's like more
Mhm.
adult and more self-contained.
Mhm.
I'm for it. Echo is fire and Hawkeye, so I can't wait to see
Well,
more Echo. She's dope.
this,
So
they're,
let's
they're
go.
saying the spotlight thing is going to be more geared to like the Netflix level type of
Okay.
Daredevil, Punisher type shows where they're how it was on Netflix. So I guess they had to do that spotlight, Marvel Spotlight, which is the old Marvel, comic book name, or had a Marvel Spotlight, and put those kind of shows in that
Ooh.
box away from the jokey
I'm
joke
for it.
or
This is also like
you know
a nice litmus test too to see if they can how they do Punisher. Because Moon Knight wasn't the litmus
Punisher,
test for Punisher I
right?
thought it would be. It wasn't anywhere near as violent as I was hoping or
Mm-hmm.
expecting. Some
Hoping it could have been. You
It
know
could
what I
have
it
been
could
mean?
could have
real
been
bad.
some, not that it
Yeah,
needed to be violent to be good because I still loved it, but
yeah,
that was
yeah.
the type of show that you would think would kind of test the waters for violence, and it kind of went a different way, which is fine. But I still need to see that they can do something violent before I ever believe they'll actually do something with Punisher.
Well,
Because
Moonlight, you
right now,
remember every time
I
I
don't
got
want I don't want a PG Punisher show. So if you can't do it rated R,
yeah.
don't do it.
Well, when Moon Knight, remember every time it got real violent, the other personality was in there, and
Yeah, it
then
was
you
like an
see what
artistic
happened.
choice to avoid
Right,
the
right,
gore
right.
and
We
blood.
never saw what
So
happened. So
yeah.
so hopefully Spotlight is that area where we get the Netflix level.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Put the kids to bed.
right, put them to bed, turn on Spotlight. So hopefully that's what it is. But man, this this trailer looks really, really good. I got high hopes for this show, man. Like I really
Cool.
hope that Echo is
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. I'm hyped.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
I'm super hype about it.
yeah.
Again, seeing as they are making an attempt to do something that's completely different. I don't know why this isn't working. Again, if they're going this route, hell, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
just
yeah, no
give it
doubt.
to us, bro. Like, just
Mhm,
definitely give it to us because, I mean, without holding back. I'll put it to you that way. Because
mhm.
I think that we've seen too many times where, they're holding back. It's one of those situations where you're holding back of what you can definitely give us, in the sense that it would actually make.
Also,
Mhm.
if they're not using her power, hey DC, can we please get Cassandra Cain done right? Please,
Facts,
Right.
please, please. My
facts.
favorite Batgirl. It's one of my favorite Batman characters of all time. It's one of my favorite characters of all time.
Mhm.
Give us a Cassandra Cain Batgirl show or movie with the full mask, with the with
Well, no, but
the
you
way she
got
was raised, the 4 year old, like all of it. Give us that
yeah,
and give us because that's the same powers. That's the
you
same.
you already got Cassandra Cain. You're gonna get from DC and Birds of Prey.
The, I don't know what you're talking about. That movie don't exist. Birds of Prey don't exist in this dojo, fam. I walked out of that theater so mad.
That movie was horrible, bro. I walked out in like 10 minutes.
I was so hot.
You said you want.
I walked
I
out that
walked
theater
out,
so
bro.
mad. I'm still not over it.
I didn't care
Yeah.
about losing money on that one, bro.
Yeah. And here's the thing, bro. Like I said, I mean, with that, it's like, yeah, we don't talk about that. We that's something we don't definitely talk about because that
I haven't
you know
healed from that. I'm not. It's too soon to talk about it. It's been 3 4 years.
yeah, that kind of makes the
Oh
booty tight when you talk about stuff like that, bro, because it definitely wasn't something.
Oh, that shit was horrible.
Hmm.
horrible,
Hmm.
bro.
Yeah,
Horrible.
it definitely wasn't something that we. Yeah, nah, bro. It's it's
Nah,
it's
nah, stop it.
it's yeah.
It
We
was
we we
terrible.
just we just gonna act like that didn't even exist,
Yeah,
bro.
it
We'll
didn't
we'll, we'll push that forward.
happen.
But anyway, like I said, I'm definitely excited about this, bro. I think it's gonna be dope. I'm also excited about the Echo show.
Yes.
Again, that comes out in January. Wish they moved it because it was supposed to be earlier on. I thought it was supposed to be sooner, but again,
Before
they're
Christmas,
releasing.
I thought like
Yeah, that's what
December
I
or something.
thought. Like it was supposed to
Mhm.
be this month, but they
Yeah,
moved it. So I'm
yeah,
cool with that. We'll
yeah.
see how it goes. I'm excited to see what they end up doing and
Get the
if it's
year
gonna
off.
be super dope. Take a year off and
Hmm.
let's get it together and
Hmm.
we'll see how it happens, man. We'll definitely see how it happens. I can't wait. Um, moving on. We're gonna talk about something else here. Now, this is something that we'll probably be slightly divided on. I'm not really sure, but for me, again, we've heard the rumors. We've been hearing these rumors now for about a week, about 2 weeks. Basically, it's been rumors. It's been talked about for a while. And we know that the current space that Marvel, the cinematic universe exists in, there's a lot of IPs that aren't really cutting it.
Hmm.
We read that article they talked about last year or last week with Variety and how much of an issue it was. Um, Again, they're talking about a Marvel reboot that we're going to possibly get after Secret Wars.
Hmm.
But again, the question is now they're kind of dipping back in the well and undoing certain things that I thought that was simply important. However, if it makes sense, okay, but don't lean in on saying that this is the only thing that can save the Marvel universe. Of course, what I'm talking about is the possible return of Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and Chris Evans. And they're saying that these particular characters could be the ones that kind of help save and rewrite the ship. And the rumor was today that Robert Downey Jr.
You
had
already signed.
agreed to come back and had already signed.
Yeah.
Um, Jay, I'm gonna start with you first on this one because I want to get your thoughts and how you feel about this. Do you think this was the right move? Is this Marvel playing it safe because they don't want to, you know, take more risks? They've taken risks, but I think, and I'll say this before I let you answer because I don't think that necessarily it's dependent on characters and bringing back actors. I think it should have been more depending on writing. But we'll get to that in a minute. But what's your opinion on it, bro?
Um, I'm happy about it. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't feeling that like that, whatever, but it's like um, I think like Robert Downey should come back as like AI at first because that's how it came back in the comics. You know, he was
Mm,
the AI for Ironheart suit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think you should start him off small like that if you're gonna bring him back, first of all. And they like in the comics they had his body somewhere and transfer the consciousness to the body, whatever. Do something like that. I think because, Robert Downey, Chris Evans, and Scarlett were like they all were like the heart of Marvel
Yeah.
in the beginning for those first couple of movies and films because yeah, Iron Man, well really Blade kicked it off. Let's just be real. Okay. But Iron Man came out, boom, and then Iron Man, was the beginning of that slate. And that first Iron Man movie had a lot of the writing was excellent. It had a lot of heart behind it because it was a man that saw the error of his ways and was trying to correct it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though everybody thinks that the big villain was Ironmonger, what really was Tony was fighting himself to correct all the wrongs that he did. And
Mhm.
then Chris Evans, Captain America, that first one was about sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? He sacrificed himself to save, you know, America from getting blown up from that jet. And then Scarlett Johansson, the same thing, was sacrificing herself for, you know, the whole galaxy, pretty much.
Mhm.
So it's like Marvel has lost that sense of, I think, heart and you know, self-aware, being self-aware of trying to right some kind of wrong with itself. They don't have that anymore. It's like I don't know. It feels like the movies have gotten empty since they've been gone. Now I think this new Captain America movie is going to be good with Falcon.
Yeah.
I want to see him get his run as Captain America and see how it goes. You know how he holds
Mhm.
his own in the comics now. He holds his
Yep.
own without Steve, with or without
Yep.
Steve. You
Yep.
know what I
Yep.
mean? So I think he should at least get that time to shine without Steve for a while. Maybe bring him back as old man Steve in his movie and have that change or whatever in the next couple movies, but not right away. You know. But Iron Man, man, he was the heart of the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? It's like now that he's gone, in the MCU films, it's like they're so shiftless. They don't know what. It's like a chicken with its head cut off. They don't know which way they're going with how they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if they do it like the comics, I think they can do it right and do it tastefully. If they do it like the books, but we all know how they want to avoid source material,
Mhm.
like it's a plague. So I mean, we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
I definitely like the fact that they all could possibly come back. I love that. So
You like that?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, are you
For
getting that?
those reasons, I
Are
mean,
you getting that Mark III?
of course. What do you mean?
I was,
Of course. I have the
I,
OG right there, and I told you I didn't want to do it. I wasn't going to do it,
yeah, but you
and
did it.
I did it. Yeah,
I know you was gonna do that. I knew you was gonna do that shit, bro.
yeah, I did.
Bro, when you messaged me about it, I was like, yeah, he gonna do that shit.
Yeah, I
He's
did
gonna
it.
do that shit.
Right over in the cabinet right now. I'm looking at it.
I knew he's gonna do that shit.
Two Mark threes, but I mean
Yeah.
that movie was come on, bro. Like after Blade, like that movie was the one that Blade started the wheel turning, and then when Robert Downey hit with Iron Man, bro, like the train went down the track after that, man. Like that's an iconic suit, an iconic movie, and I just really think that his absence is felt all over the MCU. That's
So
absence.
I'm gonna wait to Vinny because I got a feeling Vinny might end up saying what I think, what I'm
I think I'm going to
thinking.
the opposite because I know Vinny
Well,
don't.
no, but there's I think that there's something that's really sad here, and it's a
Mm-hmm,
huge missed opportunity. I think all three of us will agree, but I'm gonna wait until Vinny
mm-hmm.
talks, and then I'll come back to it. Vinny, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
My first thought is they need to shut the fuck up. Why are you telling us you're gonna bring RGJ back. Because if you're going to, you're going to, whether we
Let it
like
be
it
a
or not.
surprise.
So
Yeah.
why the fuck wouldn't you just have him pop up? Why would
Yeah.
you tell
Yeah.
us so that way? Oh, the next Secret War, the next Avengers, people actually like go because now they know that
Right.
RGJ might show up. Like that's so whack to me.
Go.
It's so desperate. It's so pick me. It's so
That's it.
it's John Cusack holding up the fucking boombox outside of the fans' windows saying, "Please love me again."
Love me again.
It's so sad. They lost their fucking mojo and
Yep.
they look so desperate,
They did.
begging Chris Evans, begging Scarlett Johansson, begging Robert Downey Jr. I've said this since the whole recast T'Challa, controversy.
Yep.
Stop putting actors over your IPs. Actors come and go.
Yep.
Actors come and go.
Yep.
The IP is forever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you're putting Chadwick over T'Challa. You're putting
Right.
Tony. You're putting Robert over Tony. You're putting
Yep.
Chris over Steve.
Yep.
Right.
It's a flawed strategy to me because Robert Downey Jr. is going to get old and die one day. Actors are going to pass away one day. Actors are going to decide to move on to arts projects and Oscar type projects one
Right.
day. Your ownership of these IPs is forever, and
Right.
they're losing their way here, desperately clawing to those magical box office days that did not come just because of those actors. They came because of great, cohesive, organized storytelling.
Right.
And those days are on hiatus. They're not gone. There's still great stories out there. When they want to, they got them. It's like saying you can't make a dope Star Wars movie without Darth Vader because you haven't yet. Because once you do, then stop acting like you couldn't do it. There's projects that have worked since Endgame, and there's comic books that have sold without Iron Man, who was before 2007 a fucking C-list character. You have so many IPs, so many stories to tell, so many different things you can do. You got Fantastic Four and X-Men in your back pocket. Why the fuck are you desperately clinging to Robert Downey Jr.'s nuts? It makes no fucking sense. He made you so much. He made you a god like amount of buckets of cash, but he's not the only actor in Hollywood. He's not the only IP. I love Robert Downey Jr. I love Iron Man in these movies, but I don't want to be like forced to feel like that's the only thing that I can do if I'm a Marvel director or
I want y'all
writer.
to see this theme. Go ahead.
That's all I could do. All I could do is just make more Tony Stark Iron Man movies because nothing else will sell. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Y'all are in your heads because you got away from them. It's like when the Bulls got Jordan was gone and they didn't win the next title. Oh, we got to bring him back, otherwise there's no way to win. Well, Kobe came along one day, LeBron came along one day, Shaq came along one day. There's other players besides the GOAT.
Yeah.
And to say that if without Jordan, there's never a reason to watch an NBA game is silly. So it's sad that y'all feel like not only you have to bring these characters back in order to see these actors back in order to see these characters again, but you also feel like you have to tell us and beg us to come watch these future movies because he might show up. It's flawed thinking. It's reeks of desperation, and it also reeks of incompetence. Because if you're telling me in this day and age with this many great superhero films that you can't write another, you can't produce another, you can't direct another blockbuster hit without Robert Downey Jr., then this is the Marvel universe, not the RDJ universe. And this is no knock against Robert Downey Jr. I love that dude. He's amazing, but you killed him off, and now you're gonna bring him back less than 2 phases later because y'all couldn't get anything. It's like y'all put out obscure property after obscure property, disjointed thinking, no structure, no organization. throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks, putting all your focus into the Disney Plus properties. Dealt with COVID, dealt with pandemic, dealt with dying movie theater industry, dealt with streaming box office drama, and all those issues that you had are so much a part of why these films aren't successful. It's not unsuccessful on the sole strength of, oh well, we didn't have RGJ, so what? How could we have ever won? Nah, if Robert Downey Jr. hadn't died in Endgame, y'all still would be struggling. Still would be struggling. Because you know what? If RGJ hadn't died at Endgame, y'all still would, and y'all put out Eternals and Black Widow, and you know, think about the fact that before in 2010, you didn't have to stop and think of like, oh shit, what else came out? Because it's forgettable. That's not RGJ's fault. Because without RGJ back in that day, you had all these other hits around him that he wasn't in.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go back to the focus on writing and telling great stories. That stretch of the Infinity Saga had so many people responsible for it that were not Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans. You had strong storytelling, and you had an idea. In the first phase of Marvel, it felt like everybody got in a room and figured out what they wanted to do, and they did it. Phase 4 of Marvel right now feels like they throwing shit at the wall, trying to figure it out, and we're, as they go. That's the problem. It ain't not having RGJ. So
yeah, and here's my thing, and I say this. Okay, so when you do stuff like this is a couple of different things here, and this is my biggest gripe. Okay, fine, Disney, do what you want to do because you're going to do what you want to do in the first place, right? So this was a conscious decision. Weigh this, and Cornelius, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this. Weigh this, right? So you want to basically pay all this money to bring Robert Downey Jr. back, to bring, Scarlett Johansson, who I love Scarlett Johansson. I would not mind seeing her back as Black Widow, seeing Chris Evans. Now, here's the thing is bringing Chris Evans back, and you didn't even have a chance to see the Falcon flourish, but that's another story, right?
Yeah.
My problem is you're doing all of this, right? And you this is what you're doing. But it was a conscious decision to say, we are not going to recast T'Challa.
Yep.
And you're sticking to that, and we still haven't gotten that shit yet. And that shit fucks me up. Like, that really fucks me up, that you're putting all your eggs into this basket, but you didn't give that fair treatment to recasting the T'Challa.
And that movie made $2 billion.
Sense, bro.
And that movie made $2 billion.
And that literally would have made so much fucking money, and it makes sense to put.
It made $1 billion, but
bro, it made $1 billion. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the point is, bring that character back, recast that character, put emphasis on that, because that's what people want to see. But no, you didn't do that shit. You didn't do that shit. You wanted to do something like this. And here's my problem with this, bro. You're bringing these characters back. You're bringing Robert Downey Jr. back. You're bringing Scarlett Johansson back. You're bringing Chris Evans back. It's just going to be a repeated fucking cycle, because people are going to depend on this shit. And then what's going to happen is when you remove it, you're going to have to do the shit again. That's just the way it works, especially if you're not focusing on the writing. It is all about writing. Back in the 80s, in the 70s, what we had was writers who wrote good stories. It wasn't a huge fucking spectacle. We didn't have these big fucking spectacles. We depended on the writing. The writing is what took us on the journey. The writing is what got us connected to these characters. The writings sold everything. Right now, you are focused on just the actors, not the characters, not the fucking story, and definitely not the source material. Marvel, you are fucking up, and this is just basically my opinion. Instead of focusing on characters that have weight, we have seen, bro, give us a recast of a fucking Black Panther, T'Challa, and give us that and another fucking Namor, and let them do fucking battle. That shit would fucking sell, and they would get busy. You didn't even, and on top of that, we are still not getting a fucking. We don't know what the fuck's going on with the Fantastic Four, bro. We have no idea what's going on with that. Definitely, we don't.
Yep.
I'm angry. I'm angry. Bro, I'm
when,
upset because of the simple fact that there are missed opportunities in Marvel. What you are telling us is that you have no confidence in your own fucking IP.
yeah,
None at all. Because
yeah,
you allow writers to come in because they were disgruntled. You didn't actually just sit down and say, you know what? Let's write a good fucking story. First of all, you should have paid them.
yep.
Y'all motherfuckers should have paid them. So this is what y'all did. You
That's what they
fucked up in
did.
the first place. You
Yeah,
should have paid them what they deserved. Number one. But
yeah.
you allowed these fucking stories to pass past the table and say, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and write it. Do what you want to do because we just want to make fucking money.
Because it doesn't matter what you do, because all that matters is who's on the screen. So we're not going to pay you another quarter. We're going to pay RDJ another quarter billion. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you're going to pay him and pay all this money, taking away money from all the production, all the writing, everything else, just for that star value. When y'all fail to realize, like, Chris Evans wasn't the the one of the top stars in the world when you hired him. Either
Right,
was, or like, those actors needed those characters.
right.
Those actors needed those characters to shine. It's not all about the actors. It's the IP too. There's no reason in the world you can ever justify to me not recasting T'Challa at this point, knowing that that's another character that you could have, and you decide to bring back these characters. It's like, come on,
Bruh,
man.
come
Come
on,
on,
man.
man.
Like, what's
When I was saying, when I was screaming, when Chadwick Boseman had passed, it was like 3 or 4 months after he was gone, and we got the news that they weren't going to recast him. Maybe like 5 months after he passed away, bro. I was screaming at the top of my lungs like, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. I love Chadwick Boseman. I thought he was a great actor, great person, you know, all the above. But he is not T'Challa in real life. He's not T'Challa in the books.
he's not the
T'Challa,
child, bro. And
no, he's
even
not.
in Chadwick would have wanted that story to
He
continue,
did want
bro.
you, dog.
And
He would have wanted that story to
He would
continue,
have
bro.
won that.
and
His
it's
brother said he would have wanted to be
and it's
recast.
frustrating because you decided not to replace a strong black male lead,
Right.
and
Yep.
not and then you didn't even learn your lesson from the backlash you got from that, and you decide, if his stories are true, to do the same shit with Blade, where he wouldn't have been the primary focus, the lead character in his film. It would have
Right.
been a
Yeah.
female led film, and he would have
Right.
been the fourth billing.
Right.
And that is insane to me. It's like,
It's super
why are y'all
insane, bro.
why are y'all
It
scared
wasn't
of black male
right.
leads? Like,
Right.
you can
Right.
have every other demographic represented, and they all
Right.
should be. But you're telling me that this is a demographic that has to take a backseat
By
repeatedly.
this time now, Marvel, we should have been seeing Blue Marvel by now. At least in WandaVision, or in between WandaVision and Multiverse of Man. We should have seen Blue Marvel by now at some point. I
We're
guess
not
they
gonna
gonna
say it,
never
bro,
get him.
because know why, bro?
They
Number
gonna never
one,
get him.
he's an OP character, but he's an OP black character, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm just keeping it
at this-
100% funky,
that's-
bro.
If we do get Blue Marvel, he'll
because
be
Marvel
nerfed.
has a
He'll be
problem
nerfed
writing
to
OP
hell.
characters in the first place.
They definitely
So,
have a problem. Look what they did. Listen,
Adam Warlock.
Vinny, you fuck, bruh. You know what?
Wow. They made him look like a fool.
Adam
bro.
Warlock. So,
Straight
God
fool.
help us if we do get Blue Marvel on screen, because
Right.
he'll be like some mechanic who has mild
Right.
super strength and can like
Right.
lift heavy trash cans or something. Like, nah, just
Right.
don't even do it if you ain't gonna do it right, because they've shown time and time again that there's certain things that they are allowed to have be
Mhm.
powerful, certain agendas, and that's fine. But when you let certain demographics shine and don't want others to shine, and all of them need representation, it seems like there's more at work than telling good stories. And that
Exactly.
is the primary problem that a lot of people have had. And there's racist and there's homophobic and there's sexist people screaming things out with a sliver of truth in them, that it's hard to separate that xenophobia from the truth. So when you have these characters that aren't represented and others that are, and people are frustrated, no one is listening to the right things because of people who are saying them are the loudest and the longest. But there's issues that they have at their core that they are worried about maybe not always the right things when they're working on these scripts and these properties. And we need to see strong storytelling
Exactly.
first, and
Right.
then checking all your boxes second,
Mm-hmm.
because you can do both. And when you do both, you get a $1 billion movie like Black Panther.
Exactly.
And that's proven time and time again that when you do things with the right reasons and the right people and put talent and creatives first, then
Mm-hmm.
you can please everybody. You can please
Mm-hmm.
your stockholders. You can please your shareholders. You can please your fans. You can please everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
when you do things for certain other reasons, all you get is backlash, and then you get
Yep.
to say, "Oh, that backlash is only because y'all sexist. That
Yep.
backlash is only
Yep.
because you're racist. That
Yep.
backlash is," and then you don't have to fix your problem because the problem is manifested out of thin air because of people's prejudices,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to not take any onus, any responsibility, any accountability for the abysmal sales, abysmal storytelling, abysmal direction and
Mm-hmm.
cohesiveness that the the phases used to have going
Mm-hmm.
forward, and now it's just so disconjointed and
Mm-hmm.
discombobulated, and now it's just like everything might as well be a Marvel spotlight now.
Mm-hmm.
Half the
That's
shit
so
seems
hard.
self-contained. Half the self seems like, oh, well, I don't know, let's just do a movie for this. So they got to get their shit together, because we don't want Marvel turning into a stereotype of what DC is
Mm-hmm.
and has been. And DC doesn't really care because there's so many people over there running shit, and
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to fix it now. James Gunn, maybe they will, but it's a problem that they're
Got it.
growing into instead of growing out of. They're going the
Yeah.
wrong direction, and it's
Yeah.
easily fixable. But this somewhere along the way, they got more wrapped up in to things that should be thought of as you're making a movie instead of the purpose for making a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's tough, and it's really hard to get. It's really hard to get your head up out of that, dig yourself out of that hole. And I don't know if Kevin Feige is sitting there putting out those fires and controlling that narrative the way he was before,
Mm-hmm.
because it's happening time and time and time again.
Well,
It's a mess.
like I
It,
said,
it,
but
it
those movies
is.
lost the heart. They lost the heart. They don't have that heart anymore like they did in those first couple of films. They don't have it no more. Thor, Captain America, the first Avenger, and the first Iron Man. They are like the core three films that were like the foundation of what heroes were in Marvel for a long time. Then after Robert Downey is gone, Cap is gone, Thor's turned into like a joke, you know, Black Widow's dead. It's like,
Look, man, the best Phase 4 film has been a Sony film. What does that tell you?
exactly.
Bro, you know what the crazy
Exactly.
part is? If you had plans on, and here's the thing.
That's crazy.
Everybody, I say this because it's look, it's not that I'm hating on. Like I told you in the very beginning, love me some Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
love me, some
I
Chris
hope everybody
Evans.
realizes how much we love these three people on
We
screen right
love
now.
these
Exactly.
three individuals, but it's just a simple fact that if you had plans on bringing these characters back, you shouldn't have got rid of them in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plain and
it, it,
simple,
it's just insane because
short and
like
long.
Captain America trilogies to me that's my favorite trilogy in all of
Oh
Marvel.
man.
But to
Yeah, by
me,
far.
saying that you need them back is saying like if you when you killed off Captain America in the comics, then there was no point in reading comics for a while. It's like there's so many other comics. If they
Well,
kill off when they kill off Superman, it's not like, oh well, what's the point? Let me know when he comes back. I'm not reading comics no more. It's insane to me that like killing off a character uh is a
well,
storytelling uh tool as old as time. Like it's been around for forever. But to feel like you have to replace him with that same actor is insane to me. Like when you have this opportunity
mm-hmm.
to recast and reboot, because if you brought in a Tony Stark from a different universe, you get Iron Man back, you get your IP back without taking away Robert Downey Jr.'s character's sacrifice. If you get a Captain America from another verse after they're done Sam Wilson's run, even if it's whether it be one or two films or even a trilogy, then you get Captain America's Steve Rogers back without shitting on his sacrifice of retiring or whatever. But same thing with Logan. I don't want to see Hugh Jackman as Logan when I'm 70, 80 years old. Like let him go do his musicals. Shit, man. Like let somebody else be Logan.
Yeah.
It's just these Hollywood is just so hung up on the actors, and like no one will go see these movies unless these actors are in guaranteeing this money, and they fail to realize that like no one was spending $1 billion on Robert Downey Jr. movies before he became Iron Man.
Oh,
that's
sure.
Your fucking IP, not Robert Downey Jr. The same thing with Captain America. No, like you put Chris Evans in, like, hey, Chris Evans was in Gray Man. That how many people seen that? Like he's not making $1 billion movies as just being in other films. No, it was because people want to see Captain America.
Yeah,
I don't know why they can't understand that. Like you're taking away what they did in those films by wrapping up their stories. You just you're shitting on that. Yeah. And in comic books, it's fine because we're used to that, and it don't matter. You have different writers and different teams, and that's the way things are done. In Hollywood, that it diminishes it so much more.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, man. Again, and I want to close this section of it out by just this topic out by just saying again, there's true love for the characters, but there's even more love for the IP. So to sacrifice good storytelling that could possibly happen in the future because you don't have the confidence in it and you feel as though that these characters need to save the franchise, again, it's kind of tough. Yeah. If you're going to bring them back, if you're telling a good story, but then justify the reason why you're not bringing T'Challa back, justify that. Justify the reason why you're not putting, again, we're talking about a Blade film that you're talking about that could possibly be made for under $100 million. So let's justify one of the reasons, in which not saying that $100 million or under $100 million couldn't be a good story, because you can, as long as the story is written well. I don't want to get hung up on that. But I'm just saying that definitely if you're bringing these characters back, make it make sense and don't make a mistake in making it stupid.
For that Blade movie, was it going to be his daughter, Bloodline?
No, we're not. No, what they're talking about, they haven't really said too much. They said it was going to have to do with women, life lessons, and he was going to be the fourth character. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because it would have been stupid.
Yeah.
So let's kind of just move on and digress from that. Yeah, what I do want to talk about now, which is the final topic of tonight, is this Loki season 2, episode 5.
Masterpiece.
This show, every single fucking episode, to me, has been simply a masterpiece. Bro, I don't know what it was, and y'all can smack the shit out of me. Everybody in the chat, y'all can clown me, y'all can get me. But I don't know why now that I see greatness in a masterclass of acting in Tom Hiddleston, bro. He is fucking brilliant, bro. He is fucking brilliant, bro, in his emotions and just the feel of it. And on top of that, bro, we could potentially be seeing the makings of the God of Stories, bro.
God of Stories, Loki.
You know what I mean? Which is dope because there's so much potential in that. Out of everything, all the fucked up news and everything that's been going on lately, this show has been a fucking gem. I loved every single episode. I haven't loved Loki like that in a long, bro. I love him much more now than than I have since his introduction, because they are taking a character, stripping it down to the bare minimum, and making him humanizing the character. So once he reaches that level of power that we know he can reach, we're going to see something phenomenal. And that's what I'm so excited about. This last episode, delving into each individual character, finding about their backstory, who they were before they became part of the TVA, knowing that Loki now has controlled his power and where we can actually go in the future, bro. This shit is fucking phenomenal. I cannot wait for this next episode. Thursday cannot come fast enough. I've been hearing a lot of people who have seen the final episode saying, yo, I cannot fucking wait for you to see this final episode. Definitely. People who have seen the final episode was like, yo, you are not going to believe what you're going to fucking see. And I was like, yo, I cannot wait to see it. I'm hoping it hits with a bang. Because here's the thing is we've heard that before. And sometimes the final episode is trash. But I don't think that's going to happen with this. I'm so excited about it. Vinny, what you think so far, bro?
Yeah. Again, I've always been lukewarm on Loki, and borderline thought he was overused compared to the other villains we could have seen. But this show is
Cornelius, my man. You already know, bro.
I love the anti-super ants, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
man. He absolutely has. Like this is the Loki that other people seen him that I never seen in him before. He's been killing it. He's been on fire. He's doing a phenomenal job acting wise. Owen Wilson has been just wow, like pun intended, with his performance in this show both seasons. I've loved the hands off feel. It feels like this isn't a show that is overproduced and under a certain criteria and guidelines of what it has or is supposed to be. It doesn't feel like a Marvel show. It doesn't even feel like a superhero show. It feels like just some obscure, almost like foreign show, like that has very little constructs or rules of what a normal show can be. It's very, very unique and original. And exactly. I love the writers on here. I love the producers. I love the cinematography on here. The color schemes on it. The yellows on the show. Just I love all of it, man. It's just so incredible. Like, man, like Loki talking to Owen to Mobius, and then doing a time jump where my man was over in the bushes and he hears himself. Yo, this shit was so incredible. And I just love the little stuff like that they have all throughout the show. I don't know where it's going necessarily. It feels like they do though. And I feel like that is unique because a lot of times
know where they're going.
A lot of times there's a lot of shows. It feels like I don't know. They made it up as they went, and this feels like they had a beginning, middle, and plan from season one. So I really like that aspect of it. I want to see more Jonathan Majors though, but we'll see what we get. I do love the fact that this show has been quietly explaining more about the multiverse than
all the movies,
the films,
right?
And it's like I don't know why. I don't know, man. It's been such a frustrating hand that's been dealt with this phase because there's so many different factors into this phase that set stuff up. But this show has been kind of like the linchpin of what's been going on, but yet it's not it's not explained as. It's like if you're not watching Loki, you don't even realize how much of what has went on in this show has affected all the films that have came out since Endgame.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see the finale either. I'll be watching it as soon as we get back from Marvel's, and I'm hyped for it. I love everything that they've been doing with it so far. It's definitely one of the most unique shows I've ever seen, let alone comic book shows I've ever seen. Time is a very hard gimmick to pull off in movies and TV. And when it's done bad, it's shitty. And when it's done well, it's incredible. And this show does it very, very well.
Bro, I very, very effing well, to the point that, bro, like when I saw this first episode, the first episode of the season, I was like, yo, really? Like this from the word go, the chemistry between him and Owen Wilson, bro. I was like, yeah, this is going. Bro, he's been killing it. Like literally, bro, they have been nailing it. Even Jonathan Majors episode, bro, he's been everybody, the entire cast. Sylvie, I'm a Sylvie fan. I'm sorry, bro. I am a Sylvie fan. I am unapologetically a Sylvie fan. She has definitely been killing it. But yeah, bro, it's hitting on so many cylinders. And like, single songwriter said, these writers need to be writing film. These are the ones that need to be writing Kang Dynasty, bro. They should be, because they are incredible. Jason, what you think about this show, bro?
I
Or this
just
episode?
thought this episode was flawless, man. I think that we are now seeing the God of Stories, Loki. I hope that we are. I like the writing. I like the special effects. Um, that Loki, and to see Loki in this way, where he's trying to do everything he can to save the timelines and to save his new friends. Like, we've never seen that Loki at all, bro. Like, this whole season of Loki in season two, bro, is like a whole different aspect of his character, and I love it to see him like this, man. Like, you see him dealing with the vulnerability of losing all his friends and the timeline, and he's trying to fight to fix everything. And then at the end of the episode, when he realizes, like, oh snap, I can control this now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I hope. And then, what's crazy? I think that he who remains knew this the whole time.
Yeah, he
He knew
probably
all this
did,
was going
bro.
to happen. I think he erased Loki's mind at some point and sent him on his way and put him back where he belonged. You know what I'm saying? But man, this show, I pray that this last episode is a banger.
Yeah,
I hope we're not left like candles in the wind type stuff, bro. Because I really hope it's a banger, bro. Because man, this last
yeah,
and Mobius, bro, we're worrying about his boys, and he's still, because Mobius at the heart is that's just who he is. He wants to do right. He wants to save the
bro.
world,
I have
bro.
never been a fan. I mean, here, put it this way. No, I
Hmm.
take it back.
Hmm.
There are certain films that I watch that I'm really like. The Wedding Crashers was my movie, bro. I love that
Oh, that
film.
was good. That
That
was
was my
good, bro.
shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
I am a selective fan of Owen
yeah,
Wilson in certain films.
yeah, yeah,
This fucking
yeah.
series, these two
yeah,
seasons have made me a fucking believer of
yeah, bro.
Owen Wilson, bro.
Yeah.
I've
That
been a
was
fan,
the
but I've
perfect
never took him
casting.
seriously. I've been
Exactly.
a
Nah,
fan, but never took him seriously. I
he's
always just
always
count
had
him
a
as just
joke.
a silly dude.
Right. He's
And
always had a
and
joke.
here this whole time he's probably been thinking,
Right.
man, I wish they would give me a drama because I could
Right.
act, but
Right.
I'm always put in these silly roles
Right.
because for whatever reason I've been typecast.
People
Th-
want that
This
from me.
i-
Hmm.
if you make a list of great performances against type, this is epitome.
Yeah.
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 It's bro.
Love the show
Bro,
Retroverse.
I love this
Love it.
show.
Yeah, love it.
I literally twice, no, four times I've gone
Mhm.
back and watched the entire season up until a certain point. Like I've done that up
Yeah.
until like the last, because it's just, bro, it is phenomenal. I
But
love
you
this
know the
season.
part that really got me when Sylvie was in the record shop, and
Yeah,
we had them back in Jersey, like those little
yeah.
shops. She was in the record shop and she was chilling, dog, and like the
And you just
whole
seeing everything
multiverse
around
is
her.
getting erased. I'm like,
And
what,
bro, and the thing is, what I loved about it
dude?
was the slow motion walk through
Yeah,
the time portal, bro. Like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
I was like, yo, that shit is dope. That
That was
was
dope.
so nicely done.
That was dope. Hmm.
And bro, what Tom Hiddleston really got me, bro, was a conversation in the bar at the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
She said, "What do you want? What do you want?"
I want to save my friends. I want my friends
Right,
back. If they're
right,
not here, what will I be? I don't want to be alone. Bro,
right.
I teared the hell up. I was sitting there
Dude,
fighting
because
tears when he said that,
that's
bro.
Loki. That's Loki at his barest.
Yeah, bro.
At
I
his
was
bare minimum.
fighting. I was
Right,
choked. I was literally choked the fuck
right,
up when I saw
right,
that scene. I was like, I
right.
can't. And even when I watch it over, it's like I can't watch this scene, bro,
He
because
might be
a lot of us
playing
has
tough.
felt that way.
Right.
Yeah.
He
It's
might be
like your
playing
friends
tough.
are the core of who you are.
Right, right.
And
He misses
sometimes
his
without
parents.
them, bro, you just feel
Right,
something's missing.
right,
And the relationships established between him and his friends, I was
right,
like, fuck, bro.
right,
This show is
right,
hitting hard, bro. It's hitting with the right emotion, the right
right.
amount of action, the right amount of depth and storytelling.
Yeah.
Disney, this was the fuck you are supposed to do.
That's how you're supposed to write it.
This is
And
how
it
you're
goes
supposed to
deep too,
do.
bro. Just think
Yeah.
about it. Like growing up, he didn't have friends, so what do you want to do? Well, if I can, if you ain't my friend, fuck it. I'm gonna rule all y'all. I'm gonna
Yeah.
conquer you. I'm gonna take over this. I'm gonna take my dad's spot. Oh, Thor's your favorite. All right, fuck you. I'm gonna conquer you all. You can be under my fucking boot.
Yeah.
And now it's like he has a broader range of what is important to him. That's it's fire. It's really, but at the same time, they ain't like make him. He's not like some kind of like softy now. He's still got that dog in him. He's still asshole, but yet he's a more well-rounded character now. It's not just evil just to be evil and shit like that. It's
like he's truly
layers.
driven now with glorious purpose, bro.
Exactly. There's so many layers to him.
He's
got his powers. He's just this is character development. Now, I feel like we didn't see a lot of that in the films, but shit, we getting it now.
Yeah, we getting it now. We definitely getting it now. Cornelius, I had the 2012 Loki. It is a brilliant piece. I have the TVA Loki and I have Sylvie. Definitely incredible, man. I forgot Behind Enemy Lines, Owen Wilson. I forgot about that, bro.
Yeah.
I did. Good movie. Definitely did think about that, man. But yeah, I cannot wait to Thursday. I definitely can't wait to Thursday. I will be checking out. Listen. I also want to say this too. I will be checking out the Marvels. Because I genuinely want as a fan of Marvel in general, I literally want these films to succeed. And for people that are holding grudges based on things that were said, you got to sometimes step away from those things and just appreciate the art. I'm going to see Marvels. I wanted to succeed. I wanted to be a good movie. You got to keep in mind, it's the first time we get a chance to see Photon in live action, which was the original Captain Marvel. We get a chance to basically see that. So I cannot wait to see this on screen. So again, if you want to see something good, go out and support this film, man. Seriously, if we want to see more like it, support this film. I mean, come on, man. I just feel as though you should, and I cannot wait to see it. So definitely excited about it. But yeah, dope. And again, it's been a great night. Great conversations to everybody. It's been such a good thing, and I'm so glad we got a chance to get around. It was structured. We got through everything quickly, man. So glad to do it, and we got through every topic. That's what I'm excited about. So definitely we did so in a timely fashion. Vinny, what you got going on, bro? What you got going on, man? Besides the cheeks and holes in the room, what you got going on, bro?
Cheeks is like a constant point in the universe. So
Cheekage.
I'm taking a little break from I'm drawing for a minute. I capped off October with a con, so it's a lot of art pieces in the past 5 weeks. So I'm taking a minute off of that and trying to catch up on some shows, catching up on some binging some stuff, catching up on some work around the house, catching up on get back into Spider-Man 2. So like I've barely played it since we talked about last because I had to prepare for the con.
Yeah.
So I was just working in regular job too. So now I got now I can jump into that. So I'm excited for that. And that's what I'll be working on. Just like taking a break from everything, like getting caught up, and then soon I'll have a little bit more, even more free time, and I'll be organizing some comics and getting them, all situated so I can like binge read a few titles. I can't wait to that because I'm super stupid behind on reading. So there's a lot that I've been dying to catch up on. So I'm looking forward to it. I got like just a mile-long pile of stuff to read through, so I'm excited for that. But I'll be going to see the Marvels tomorrow, catching up on Loki tomorrow, and we'll be back here on Monday to talk about it all. On Comic Book.
You going to see Marvels tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, Thursday. My fault.
Thursday. I was about to say what?
It's all in one day, man. It's like a blur, man. Like, it's like this.
Yeah,
we got on Thursday.
We got a $2 super chat by Blazing Asian Leo. Can you show off your powers with your hands? What?
I don't even know what that means.
What powers with my hands, man? What you talk about, man? Put me on, bro. What you talk about, man? What
Pause.
Powers? What powers? Thank you for the $2 super chat, though, brother. What we got, man? Leo Penny for your thoughts on Kelsey Grammer's Beast. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they talked about that for the Marvels.
They said that potentially could be a cameo in the Marvels. Mm-hmm. Put it this way. You know what? My guy, come back next Monday. after the movie, and we'll talk about it. If this is what happens, we'll discuss it, and we'll see. And I'll let you know how I feel if it happens, because that's a rumor. But if that happens, we'll talk about that on Monday. Definitely, man.
Oh,
Definitely.
Blazing explained himself. Oh, thank you, Rans. Appreciate
Vinny,
you,
you're
man.
invincible and Omni-Man pieces.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He's talking about you on Midnight Musings.
Oh.
So there must be some reference I'm not aware of.
Hell yeah, bro. You already know. Oh, so Pat. We talking about cheeks, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
We were talking about cheeks. We were talking about the power of the cheeks.
Power of the cheeks it runs the world.
Yeah. Keep that inspiration going, Vinny. Single songwriter said, man. Shout out to single songwriter. Blazing Asian is funny as all hell. Hell yeah, man. Thank you for that, bro. Mad spoiler. Not really a spoiler because I don't really think that they again,
that's true.
I don't think it's true. Honestly, I don't believe it's true. So we'll definitely talk about that. But I love that thumbnail you got with that Spidey cover. That's super dope.
Yeah,
that is super dope. But yeah, man, thanks to a lot. Jason, what you got going on, bro?
I'm just chilling, bro. I'm working on some things with this business I got going soon. I'll tell y'all about it in a few, but waiting for figures to come in. I got that. Oh my god, I got the Mark III last week, and I have what is it? The Inquisitor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta wait until Sideshow hits me up and says it is coming. Right now, I have Electro and what's the name supposed to be coming dry, after so long. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Inquisitor should be dope because it's the first one with the
LED light up.
Saber. So
it's not gonna be as bright though. So I saw some. It's not gonna be as bright as it should be, but we'll definitely see how that goes. But anyway. But yeah, bro, thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys out there. Great show. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe. Again, I am officially seven subscriptions away from 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep the ball rolling, man. We'll be back here next Monday to talk about the Marvels. And to talk about some more stuff because it's guaranteed to drop this week. We'll be talking about some comics as well. So definitely you want to come back. Again, what's going on? Say What Wednesday. Tune in for Say What Wednesday. Whatever drops this week, we'll definitely be talking about it on that show. We have Figure Flex Friday. I still don't know when we're coming back for Uncivilized Scoundrels. We got to sit back and talk about that and formulate a plan, but we'll definitely do that. But again, thank you guys for being here. It's been a great show. You have a good rest of your night, your evening. Tomorrow's election day. So forever who's going out there and vote, make sure you do. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys again. Have a good and pleasant evening. God bless to everybody out there. Remember, be kind to everybody out there. Collect them comics and support your brick and mortar. We are out. Peace.